And hello there, my name is Strike Alpha and I'm here casting my friend xPrince's game. He's going to be playing Malphite with a team of Tryndamere, Graves, Echo, and Quinn. They are going to be playing against a Urgot, Kayn, Ahri, Jhin, and Alistar. So, just looking at these initial team comps, looking at the blue team, they are incredibly dive heavy, with Tryndamere, Echo, Quinn, and Malphite all essentially wanting to dive under tower, and Graves pretty much having the mobility to keep up with them. Things are not going to go well for the red team if any aspect of the blue team actually starts to get ahead. So red team's going to have a lot to worry about if they aren't necessarily careful moving forward. That being said, red team, all they need to do is survive, in all honesty, because if they can survive, once they get to the mid game when team fights start to occur, they should do significantly well in that situation. With the tank line of Urgot and Alistar up front, the mid line of essentially Ahri, back line of Jhin, and Kayn acting as a frontline assassin. There is more than enough organization on their team to be able to win a team fight later on in this game. So with that, we'll go ahead and start talking a little bit about the team composition, or not the team composition, it's the matchup. Got a little fight in top. Looks like Tryndamere's taking quite a bit of damage, but he's going to go ahead and back off. But yeah, and Quinn's going in. She gets hit, butted, and pulverized by the, and that is a kill for the Echo. I'm going to say diving in, igniting, and running away. Good job, Echo, on getting that first blood. But again, that goes back to this is going to be a bad time for the red team if any aspect of the blue team gets ahead. Anyway, going back to these matchups, and it looks like Urgot might be getting taken down here, but Tryndamere's taking so much minion aggro, and he's gonna barely make it out. Not much HP, but he is gonna get out of there. Kayn is there ready to try and help, but it might not be a good move on his part. Meanwhile, Tryndamere is there to offer a little bit of support, but Tryndamere needs to get out of that situation, especially with the teleporting Urgot. But yeah, so looking at these matchups, in top, you got Tryndamere and Urgot. Personally, I think Tryndamere should not have the advantage until level 6. One really messed up thing that I found out, because as a player, I used to play Urgot. And then we got a fight in bot. Looks like Malphite might be getting ready to go down here. Quinn throws the heal down after the ignite goes down. So that does save Malphite, but it's definitely not good right now for him. But yeah, so when I initially, I was an Urgot player. Like when I played marksman, I played every marksman in the game, and I considered Urgot a marksman. So I had a general understanding on how he worked, and when his new kit came out, his new kit seemed like it made sense to me. Like I could use it, and it didn't necessarily feel like it was that confusing. One of the worst times I think I've ever had playing as Urgot was by the hand of a Tryndamere, because every time I thought I was going to win the fight, and I went ahead and ulted, he went ahead and popped his ult, and I couldn't execute him. So it's not like I could really do too much in that situation. So personally, I believe that once Tryndamere hits level 6, Urgot is pretty much gonna not need to be in that general area or try to avoid all the fights he can. So we got another little fight in bot. Heal is down on Quinn, so if one more shot does go off on this Malphite, it should be the end of him. Meanwhile, Graves is trying to get the kill on Ahri, but Kayn is here to back up Ahri, and Kayn gets that kill on Graves. Kayn is chasing after, and it should be, nope, wasn't enough for the Jhin on that kill, and now it looks like Tryndamere is going after Urgot. He's taking way too much damage. I don't think he's going to live through this if he keeps doing this. But he is able to get out. But yeah, So once level 6 happens, Tryndamere lane is pretty much set. Until then, Urgot has to try and get an advantage. Like I said, if any member of the blue team gets an early lead and is able to sustain it, it's pretty much the end of the red team in this situation. Moving on to the next matchup, we got Kayn and Graves. Kayn, he has capacity to go ahead and be an assassin or be a tank. And right now, I think that the red team's probably going to need a tank. And here comes Ahri, spirit dashing in a few times, throwing some autos and getting a kill on the Echo. I say helping to kind of mitigate some of the, well, it's essentially negating Echo at this point. He's down 20 CS and 2 kills and an assist. So Ahri's definitely in a good position moving further on into this game. But yeah, if Kayn decides to go the Bruiser route or the Darken route, he should be in a really good position in terms of being a tank. Lots of squishy targets on the blue team, able to sustain through a lot of that damage that all of them might be able to throw off. Plus, he doesn't necessarily have to worry about damage because he has a lot of power coming in from Jhin, along with the execute from Urgot. So he doesn't necessarily have to worry about damage. It's more like he has to worry more about making sure that he's in a position to kind of make sure they can do the things that they need to in terms of winning these fights. Meanwhile, we got another fight going on here, but not too much of a fight. It's just a little bit of a skirmish. But yeah, moving on to this third matchup, you have Ahri and Echo. Ahri has the mobility once she hits level 6 to pretty much do whatever she needs to. But Echo essentially has the same thing, so pretty much it comes down to a chess match almost. And this looks like it's the end of Graves. Kayn comes out, he gets the kill on Graves, and now Echo's trying to go after Kayn, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. He's not going to get much further, and that is the escape for Kayn. And now, oh, and the ult by Echo, probably a bad move considering he got that close to Ahri. She throws down that arm and immediately takes him out. And there's the ult by Urgot and the ult by Tryndamere. There is no finishing him off in that situation. Even if he goes ahead and pulls the ult, it's essentially not going to do anything. So, there we go. That's exactly what I was expecting to happen. Meanwhile, Kayn is in bot, looking like he wants to gank from behind, but I am not sure if he's really going to do that. And the ult comes in, unstoppable force by the Malphite. Alistar headbutts Quinn away, but she is still going to be able to get that kill on Jhin. Now Alistar's trying to hold these guys off while Kayn gets here. Kayn finally does get here, and now it looks like this might be the end of Quinn. She gets ignited, and the double kill by Kayn. I'm going to say good job on Alistar holding both of those guys off for so long, because it definitely should not have turned out like that. That being said, it looks like Kayn probably could go assassin in this situation. Like I said, it would make more sense for him to go Darken, but at this point, he has quite a bit of an advantage. And, you know, if you have an advantage, you might as well use it in some sort of, in whatever way you can. All right, now here comes the Tryndamere starting to fight with Urgot, and Urgot goes ahead and backs off, and that is the end of that. But anyway, the Echo Ahri matchup is pretty even. It's like a chess match. Right now, it looks like Ahri is a better chess player, but all it takes is one situation for people to get back into this game. And as long as Ahri is ahead, she won't necessarily have to worry about the pretty terrible potential that Echo could have. And, oh, and the ult by Echo. He goes back in with the parallel. Oh, no. I got that mixed up. But anyway, Urgot barely makes it out. Got ignited. Tryndamere does have his ult. That is the end of Urgot, pretty much. Meanwhile, Kayn is trying to start this fight with Tryndamere. Tryndamere really didn't have a way of getting out of that, so yeah, that was pretty much the end of Kind of curious. Is that called parallel convergence? Let's check. No, it's called chrono break. Blah. All right. Anyway. So yeah. I say as long as Ari is able to keep her mobility up and she's not going to get caught in stuns, and as well as if she's able to avoid these ganks, which she seems to be doing a pretty good job of doing, this should be a pretty easy match for her. And in bot lane, it's going to be a matchup between Jhin and Quinn and their supports, Malphite for Quinn and Alistar for Jhin. Personally, I like the Quinn bot lane just because I can see kind of like a little bit of the synergy that goes with it. Got a little bit of fight in top lane. Urgot throwing down quite a bit of damage on this Tryndamere. Tryndamere goes ahead, heals up. There really isn't much help, but Kayn is coming to help the Urgot if he's able to move fast enough. But it looks like Tryndamere is going to be smart. He's going to back off. Kayn still looks like he's going to potentially going to gank, but we'll just have to see. But yeah. Oh, and Echo is catching Kayn out. I don't know who's going to win this because it really doesn't look like Echo should win this. Let's say a lot of damage on Echo, but it looks like he's out. But now Tryndamere is coming through. Ari is trying to come through to help get him out of there, and she is not going to necessarily need to be there because Tryndamere realizes he might be getting ready to have a bad time with her, and Ari just runs into Echo and throws down every skill she has. Echo doesn't exist again. I say not even Chrono Break can save him in that situation because he got burst down way too fast. But yeah, I like the Quinn Malphite partnership lane just mainly because of that synergy that those two have in terms of the diving potential. This is not a good move for Tryndamere. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, and he can't. Yep, there he goes. He goes ahead and ults, and that is the end of that. But Urgot's able to go ahead and get that kill thanks to the charm by Ari. And this might be the end of Graves. It is the end of Graves, and Alistar tanking those turret shots helps Kayn get that kill. And now it looks like Jhin is not going to have a good time. He goes ahead, throws down that heal, and is able to make it out of that situation. But yeah, I'm going to say Unstoppable Force and Vault are really good combos, along with that Malphite Q, giving, like, slowing down whoever he hits with it, allows Quinn to kind of keep up with them as she's fighting them. Looks like she's also potentially building Storm Razor. She does build the Storm Razor, so she's definitely going to have a lot more chance to hit and stick to people as she starts probably roaming around shortly. She's at 92 CS. She had enough to get Storm Razor. She might want to wait until she gets boots. I don't completely know what her summoner or what her keystone is gonna be. If she had Hunt, maybe she might be getting ready to run that, but otherwise, I don't know. She should be good to go and start kind of doing her own thing now. On the other hand, we have Jhin and Alistar. Jhin and Alistar are pretty good. There's quite a bit of root and CC potential going on with those two. Just like that, and that pretty much is the end of Ari. We got the Harrier coming through. No matter how fast you dash away, there's no getting out of it once the Harrier bullets go off. Meanwhile, Echo is going to go ahead and do his Chrono Break, but I don't know if that was necessarily a good move on his part. Kayn comes through. He goes ahead and runs the ult. Malphite flashes towards tower to kind of make him draw turret aggro. Meanwhile, up top, Tryndamere able to outplay the Urgot and gets that kill. Jhin missing his curtain call, is unable to get a full kill, but it looks, and as a result, it looks like the blue team is going to get out of there pretty decently, except for Graves, who I don't know how he got stuck behind, but yeah, that probably wasn't a great move on his part. But Anyway, and here we go. We got these two getting out, and they are going to get out. Kane is going to try and go after Echo. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it. Echo is going to be able to make it. And it also does look like Kane went darkened route. Like I said, it helps. Like I said, it helps the red team out quite a bit, adding an extra tank to their team comp. I'm gonna say things like that make it a lot easier for the damage dealers, Ari and Jin, to be able to do their thing. But yeah. So, looking at this game as it's been going on so far, it looks like Red Team is going to be taking the first dragon of this match. It's going to be an Earth Dragon, so they're going to have a little bit of extra pressure to apply on these objectives moving forward. They're doing pretty good right now, and they're doing exactly what I would hope that they would do. Although Ari might have almost caught herself in a bad position, she did manage to get out. Now here comes Quinn. Malphite might want some help, but Quinn says, yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else. That's the end of that Malphite. Quinn needs to be careful because this is also a bad situation for her. She's finally back on her side of the map, but definitely not a situation I would want to be in. And so, yeah, just looking at these things going on right now in terms of like, oh, and here comes Quinn. She gets knocked up by Kane, and now she's trying to get away from him. She is able to escape with half health, but I'm going to say so much for that on Kane. He tried to be a little sneaky, but just couldn't happen. Meanwhile, I think Tryndamere just soloed Riptail. Good job on Tryndamere's part. This team definitely needs that. And that last round from Curtain Call goes ahead and pretty much takes Graves' head off. And here's Quinn. She's going down here. This is not a good move for Kane. He's stuck in a bad spot. Echo comes through. He hits him. And that is the end of Kane. Alistar running away for his life right now. You say definitely not a good position to be in with some wards around. Meanwhile, Tryndamere is going to go ahead and use that Rift Herald up top. Ooh, and the ult by Urgot misses just by a smidge. You say Malphite going to take a little bit of damage, and that is going to be a Quinn going after this Urgot. She is able to get him, and the dash away by Urgot. Now Quinn's running for her life. She gets hit with that fourth shot and a bouncing grenade, and that is going to be the end of her. Meanwhile, Malphite is trying to figure out what he wants to do here in this situation. He gets the kill on Urgot, but is it going to be worth it? Graves is here, and Graves with all of the damage, taking down that Jin. You say saving Malphite's life like that was his main goal in life. Good job on Graves with having that much damage, considering this situation, because that was his first kill after 5 deaths. So good job. It looks like he's starting to try and make his comeback a little bit. Although now he has to worry about 2 people fighting him. I don't know how this is going to turn out, but Kane is going to come out of the graves, and that is going to be the end of him. Meanwhile, Quinn trying to start this fight down bot, but it's not a good situation. She's almost in a really bad spot. This is where Urgot throws that ult, and this is where Urgot gets that kill on Quinn. Didn't even need to use the ult. Say this is not looking good for the blue team. They gotta figure out a way to keep their base intact, but at this rate, it doesn't look like their base is gonna be here any longer. Echo throws down parallel convergence, but he isn't able to chrono break out of the CC, and that is the end of him. Meanwhile, it looks like this is possibly the end of Malphite. No, it's not. Although he got hit with that Urgot ult, it's not going to be, or he's not going to hit low enough HP to get executed. Meanwhile, it looks like Red is going to take that, while all of that's going on, Red's going to go ahead and take their first inhib of this game. Looks like they might potentially start moving towards Baron, but it looks like they want to go ahead and start pushing this bot lane. Blue team's gonna start moving towards Baron to try and see if they can't stop something from happening, but it looks like that's the end of Graves, and now Ari's trying to dash away, and the flash by Tryndamere gets that kill on Ari. Meanwhile, it looks like Jin possibly is going to go ahead and open up with the curtain call, I think. And he does. Kane goes ahead, ulting this Malphite. Well, there's that third shot, and that fourth shot comes in on Quinn. Just half of her health. Jin getting that kill on Malphite, but it's definitely not looking so hot for the blue team right now. They got to figure out a way to stop the bleeding, because right now, if they can't manage to start to narrow this gap, because right now it's a 6K gold difference between the two teams. If they can't narrow this gap, it's going to turn into a very quick game if things keep progressing like this. Meanwhile, Tryndamere is feeling pretty good about his current situation. He's going to go ahead and fight this Urgot. Meanwhile, Ari is coming down. Oh, and the Urgot misses. That's not great, but at the end, it's not like he really had a problem. And here comes Echo with the damage coming in on Kane, and that is going to be the end of Kane. We're going to say probably shouldn't be recalling in the enemy jungle in that situation. Meanwhile, we got Tryndamere fighting this Ari, and this might be the, well, doesn't look like too much happens, and that is the end of Trend. So Spirit dashes all around, waiting for that ult to end by Tryndamere, and able to get the kill. Meanwhile, Quinn is gonna go ahead and pop. Oh, there we go. And is that gonna be enough? It is gonna be enough. The Harrier comes down and gets that kill for Quinn. She's currently 3-3-3. Yeah, she's not necessarily doing better than Jin at this point. She's actually down what looks to be around 6K, but in terms of picking people off, that is definitely what she needs to be able to do, especially against strong opponents like Ari. Alright, now Echo is going in on this dragon. Not really sure if that was a smart move. Now parallel convergence is back in the dragon pit, but it looks like Kane taking quite a bit of damage from this Echo. Echo goes ahead, gets out of the dragon pit completely, and by doing that, he actually gets Kane in a position where he can't get back any backup from his team. Just a very smart move by Echo in terms of how that turned out. Meanwhile, looks like Quinn's gonna go in and try and stop these guys, but I don't know why Malphite went so far in, and that's gonna be another kill for Jin. You say game is progressing pretty well for the red team right now. Again, they are up around 5K gold. Doing pretty well. They're managing a lot of objectives, and with the mid minions pushing pretty decently right now, blue team is gonna be on the back foot and gonna be defending pretty hard. At this point, I think that the red team should probably start trying to move for a Baron. They most likely are going to need to get one more kill in order to make sure that blue team doesn't have remotely enough potential to be able to steal it away from them. However, I don't know. Oh, that's the end of Kane. And looks like this might be another base tower down. Echo goes ahead, pops that ult, and this is the end of Tryndamere. He can't ult out of that, and that is the end of him. Meanwhile, Malphite takes a curtain call to the face, thanks to Ari and her charm, and gets that kill for this Jin. Meanwhile, she throws down another charm and is unfortunately unable to hit anything. However, they are going to be taking this bottom inhib tower. Not much of a challenge by both Quinn and Echo in this situation. Not much they could do. All it takes is one combo from the Ari and the Alistar to essentially make sure that neither of them are going to be chasing after them or able to defend for a few seconds. So, yeah, like I said, it's going to be up to the blue team to try and come up with some sort of defensive option or defensive options to work with, because right now, as long as they are unable to really move around the map, they're going to not really have a good time. And at this point, like I said, red team should probably be focusing more towards on trying to get Baron. Once they get that Baron, they could go ahead and essentially end that game as soon as they possibly can. Looks like we got some pings on the red team in terms of the Tryndamere being bought. As a result, I think the red team might be going for this Baron finally. Although it looks like they might be going for that pick first. Graves is kind of far up, and they are flanking him so hard. Oh, but Graves is able to get out. And that pretty much is the end of Graves. I'm going to say Spirit Dash and some Spirit Fire. And here comes Echo. He's trying to run from Urgot, and oh, he chrono shifted back into the charm. That's the end of Echo. Another kill for this gen. He's currently 7-2-3. He's pretty much going to become a massive problem if, well, he already is a massive problem in this situation. But looks like Quinn is going to try and push out the best she possibly can, going after the minions, and it looks like this is a Baron for the red team. Red team's going to go ahead and recall and probably start this fight over again. Tryndamere is able to take a tower, but that is probably the end of anything he's going to be taking within the next few minutes as the red team comes back and throws him off of the base pretty much as soon as they go back. And here comes Quinn fighting this All-Star. Not really sure this is a good situation on Quinn's part. She gets rooted by the gen. She has the flash out. Meanwhile, Malphite's got caught with the Urgot. Urgot grinds him into some pebbles, and that is going to be the end of him. Meanwhile, Kane bursting down his Graves. No hope for him at all. And Kane's probably not going to do a good job. Not really sure why Echo waited that long, and as a result, he's not going to make it out. Meanwhile, looks like Trend is trying to figure out a way to beat this Ahri, but she has way too much mobility for him to actually get that kill off. And now it looks like red team has redestroyed that mid-inhib tower, and now mid-inhib turret, mid-inhib. And now the red team is aiming at these last two Nexus turrets. They take the first Nexus turret down. They're taking down the second, and it looks like the red team is going to be taking this victory. Jin trying to get this last kill off, but the Unstoppable Force stops that. But Graves coming out of Fountain, getting a kill on Kane, but that really wasn't a good move on their part because he immediately gets burst down along with Malphite and Echo. Let's say a double kill for this Alistar, double kill for the support going into this end of this game. Let's say fairly funny considering Alistar got his 2 kills at the very end. He ended up finishing 2-0-14. So yeah, that was a pretty good game. It looks like red team definitely did their part in terms of making sure that the blue team was unable to kind of get their own footing starting off. You're saying as a result, the blue team tried their best to try and get some picks or try and start some individual fights, but they just were too far behind in order to actually make those fights work out on their side, I guess. In terms of the most critical members of the red team, I'd probably have to give it to Ahri, just because she was able to stop the Tryndamere from split pushing. The few times Tryndamere tried to split push, if any of the other champions had actually gone to try and stop him, they probably wouldn't have gotten away, and he probably would have been continuing down top. There's a pretty decent chance he probably would have actually taken the top tower before anyone had actually been able to respond. So good job on Ahri for being that one opponent who no one on the blue team could fight, and as a result made it that much easier for the rest of her team to do her thing, or do their thing, and make sure that they could go ahead and push the objectives for the red team so that they could get this quick win before things turned around in the late game. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and thank again xPrince for allowing me to cast their game. And for you all, I thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. You all have a fantastic day. See you later.